Okay, we're gonna try again with the Marquis. I got a 7 that time, so he's eliminated. And we just made Italia great again. And we need to draw 2 hostile actions. So there's 1 and 2, and look at that. This is just Saxons. Saxons. All Saxons all the time. All right, so I think the order does matter. So here's the situation. With the parents away on a week vacation, we have a 6 there. And then we now have a 4th unit, so we have to flip this over, and it's a Saxon leader. And so you know what we're going to do. Let's go battle them and kill off more of our units. So we're going to roll. We rolled a 7, so I don't even need to do the math. We're at the bottom of the table. It's a 6-6-4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I know I'm being a little sloppy, but I'm not paying really attention to which ones I'm grabbing. As you know me, I sometimes play games and don't even read what our objectives are. And then I'm like at the end of the game and I'm like, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. All right, so I just enjoy playing games. Okay, so we do have a monster thing, and our cavalry is dangerously low, but we're going to do it. I'm going to put a level 4 here, and there. I think that's all my cavalry I have left, which is quite bad. So I'm going to move this guy over to help. We're in trouble. We need more cavalry. Look at this. We only have 2 units left. I mean, maybe this wasn't smart, but we're going to get 2 more bucks. That's why I was doing this. I'll do anything for $1. So we'll attack the middle here. Got a 3, which is not enough. Let's attack the middle. I got a perfect 8. Now that was some luck balls there. Holy, yes, that was very lucky. Okay, so then we move to here, and I'm going to try to eliminate this one. And of course I draw a 1. Here to there, a 1. And let's get the 1 in the middle. That's a 4. We do get them. So this one's gone. Middle, perfect 8. The one next to him, got a 6, so that's a hit. We'll try to get this one. 7, that's a hit. This one, it's a 5, not enough. That one, it's a 6, not enough. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble. Here, we rolled a 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6, so we defend. Here, a perfect 8. Here, I'm sorry, this is an 11 to a 5, and this is a 7 to make it 12. Our level 4 cavalry just barely scraped it. Holy cow. Here, pass. Here, pass. Here, pass. Here, fail. Level 3 unit gone. here, pass, here, pass, no, yes. And then here is an 11 against a level 4 again. And that's a fail. We just lost a level 4 cavalry. Okay, so we order-wise, we maneuver first, then we reinforce, and then we deal with isolation. So I will reinforce. Isolation. This one's not isolated. Nobody's isolated. This is a battle and a half. So we're going to start here. I rolled a 4. I hit him. Here, I rolled a 6. He's hit. Now our cavalry don't hit any. I mean, they can hit, but they're not going to insta-kill. So this cavalry is going to try to finish him off. And he does. So that helps immensely. Then this one's going to attack there. And we get him. And then this one has a perfect 8. So he's eliminated. So that flank is doing well. Here, not a hit. 7 plus 2 is 9. We got him. This has nothing to do. So he's going to do a square dance. And we're going to go here. Complete miss. And then here is a hit. But we're in trouble. We're in big, big trouble. In Little China. Over here. Miss. Here. Miss. Here. It's a 1. Oh my gosh. We just lost a level 3 unit. Here. Nothing. Here. We're fine. This is an 11 versus a 4. Plus 7 is 11. Our level 3 unit is eliminated. So we lost so many units. Now we come back. We can infiltrate here. We can infiltrate there. There and there. Like that. So we're going to start over here. That's a 7. This one's gone. We'll start here. 5. He's gone. We won, but we got to resolve all the rolls. A perfect 8. And we'll do this guy. 7. He's hit. He has nobody to hit, and we don't have him to hit. So we win. And then I guess we would have maneuvered like this to be able to take him on. But we win, and that was a very costly win. We do get to upgrade somebody on all sides. I am not upgrading that cavalry to 4. I will pay the money to keep him. This one, we're going to upgrade to 3. So we can keep some level 3 infantry. We have a level 2 cavalry. This is a level 4 cavalry. And then we're going to upgrade this guy to level 2. So now we're in worse shape. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We don't have the 20 necessary to meet the threshold, so we're going to lose victory points. That's brutal. And there's no way to get troops between now and the end. So we do get $2. Don't spend it all in one place. And all these units we already know are going to go in the hostile pool again. And then this one goes in the unfriendly. Okay, so that was poor. That was a poor move on my part. One of these goes here, and then 4 of these go into the enemy bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so now we keep going because we still haven't drawn an end turn. I think I need to stop doing wars. So I'll do a forced march to here. I'm going to draw one. And it's a Saxons. Hey, big surprise there. Then I'm going to, with my marquee, remove this one in rhyme. That's a 5, and it does eliminate him. So he goes into the Deadpool, and I think we just, for the suppress, one friendly goes to unfriendly, and then we draw 2. We get another Saxons. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And we get a intrigue. Okay, so this is the first intrigue of the game, and I don't think there's a cheat sheet for intrigue. No. So we got to pull out the rule book for this. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Okay, it represents court intrigues, conspiracies, etc. When it's drawn, you compare it to your number of victory points to the VP threshold for the current game turn. If you meet or exceed it, you automatically win. Okay, so we currently have 5 victory points, and the threshold, I think it says 8. Yes. So we're 3 points short. If your VP is less than your threshold, determine how many VP you're short. If your taxation level is equal to or greater than this difference, it is. Our taxation level is 8. No, 9. So we were only short by 3. Then we overcome the challenge. My current treasury level does not matter yet. And if you're short, something happens. If you're still short, then you can spend your EVPs. If you're still short, you lose the game. Assuming you met this challenge, then the intrigue marker goes into the dead pool, and it stays there, scoring me VP for the remainder of the game. So these things are actually awesome to draw early. I have a feeling, see, since they're blue, blue matches internal. That's my country. So I think they started in a friendly cup. So they had to go from the friendly to the unfriendly, and then from there to the hostile, and then I had to draw it. So that's the thing. It's not an easy thing to get, but there it is. Okay, I'm happy with that. And we got rid of the unit too. It was that was a sweet deal all around. Well, I think that's a forced march. Yeah. So we'll draw one from the cup, and it is, ooh, it's Swabia. That's one of ours. So I think I need to, since I'm standing right on it, I'm going to suppress him. It's only a 3, so you know, I guess local ones are easier to suppress. I rolled a 3, which is not enough. Okay, so then we move a cup. We move a friendly to the unfriendly, and then we draw 2 hostile. And here we go. Moravia gets another one, and they're up to 3. And then Valetti is Valeri is the Saxons. Okay, I'm going to try to suppress again, and this time it succeeded. And friendly to the unfriendly, and then 2 from the hostile. There's our first end turn. And then this is, what is that? I think that's the Moors. There's a symbol here. Oh, it's Byzantium. Okay, so when we draw Byzantium, so this is our hostile reactions chart. If we're at peace, we flip it to tension, and then it just goes into the dead pool. So it goes in the dead pool, but Byzantium now it has tension. Okay? Simple enough. Okay. All right, what are we doing next? I think going to my marquee. See, this is a hard one. These are 5s. I need to roll 6, 7, or 8. So, I mean, I can try to suppress them with my marquee, but that's a lot of actions. So I'm going to do a march, and we're going to draw. Nope, I'm going to do a forced march and get into Italy so I can build a church there. So let's do that. And I drew a Saxons 2. And yes, I'm going to just use my marquee to suppress then. So here's our first one. We need a 6, 7, or 8. I got a 6. And the marquee only knocks out 1. Charlemagne would have knocked out both. So that's the difference. Friendly to unfriendly. Then draw 2. 1, 2. And we have Gascony. This has 3 units on it. And we have Bavaria, which is our Italy. We want to keep Italy great. We want to make Italy great again. So we're going to move our marquee in. Doesn't matter if it's a marquee or a Charlemagne. It's not like one gets an advantage over the other. I rolled a 6, which I think is enough. Yes, it is, even without the modifier. So goes in there. And again, a friendly goes to the unfriendly, and then we draw 2 from the hostile. And we have Saxons. That's 3 of them now. And the other one is, what is that? That is Vikings. Ooh. So what happens if we draw Vikings? Monty, what's behind door number 3? If less than 3 in the purple region, place in the purple region, otherwise it goes in blue. Okay, so he goes in the purple region, like so. Okay, so we're going to now try to get rid of that last purple up there with the marquee. And I do need a really high roll, and that's not going to cut it. I needed a 6. So we move friendly to unfriendly, and then take 2. And we got another Saxon, which is now a leader. These Saxon leaders up there are pretty nasty. And then we have a purple on Britain, which is actually the exact spot we're in. So it goes on top. Okay, so now it's actually an easier one to get, but we're going to keep trying to get rid of the purple. And of course I tied it, and not enough. So 1 friendly to the unfriendly, and then 2. Bavaria gets 1. That's actually a really tough one. And then Bordeaux gets 1. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of the one in Bavaria. That's not going to cut the mustard. Friendly to unfriendly. Draw 2. The Avars gets 1. And then Saxons 2 gets 1. They're just jamming up there. Okay, I'm going to switch to the marquee. We're going to get rid of that one. Oh, come on. Friendly to unfriendly. If you don't like dice rolling, you're not going to like this game. It's definitely got a lot of swingy to it. Saxons 2. This guy is now a leader. And Saxons 2. And this goes actually on top of the stack, underneath the leader. Right, they're becoming a big problem. They're costing us money too. Okay, gonna get rid of this marquee. I rolled a 3. Friendly to unfriendly. Drawing 2. We now have Carinthia. And there's another Bavaria. So we're going to now have to suppress Bavaria, but here's the cool news. It's an easier roll and we suppress the whole stack. So let's do it. We got them. They're both gone. And friendly to unfriendly. Drawing 2. We got a Saxons 2, which is just like becoming the hugest stack ever. And then this one is, oh, that's a new one. That is the Moors. So let's see what the Moors are bringing. I hope they brought chicken. Okay, so the Moors. Place 1 in the Spanish March. And then 2, Gascony, etc. They can ambush Charlemagne. So it goes here. And what it would do is it actually kills all the Spanish troops that are there, which is interesting. But we can't let them, march through Spain. So at some point we're going to have to take care of them. Okay, the Marquis. Rolled a 5, and I think he finally got his man. Yes, he did. So we finally got one. And friendly to unfriendly. 2. There it is. End turn. And then the Alvars is getting a leader just in time to make our lives miserable. Okay, so now we go to the build phase. And we can place a church on its starter side in a region that Charlemagne occupies. So right now we can only spend $3 to put a church in Italy. So what I don't see anywhere in the rules is that I can't just spend 3 more to finish the church. Actually, this is a church under construction. And then I'm going to spend 3 more to finish the church. So consider it done. 1, 2, 3. Now when we finish a church, we're going to gain 1 in taxes. So now we're up to 10. And that's it. I mean, we can now get another marquee somewhere, which is helpful. But from a church perspective, that's all we can do. Now we could build bridges and roads. If there's a finished church in a region with a marquee and no enemy units, which is the case, we can spend 3 gold to flip the marquee to the crown side, and then that would be, it increases our taxes by 1, and we actually get a victory point for that. So I'm looking over at my money, and unfortunately I only have $2. So, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I guess I only had $8. So I can't do that. I spent so much energy keeping Italy drug and disease free, so I could do this, and of course I can't do anything about it. So that ends the build phase. Now we go to the diplomacy phase. So diplomacy phase is just a straight, you just do what it says. So 1 Viking is removed from a region with a marquee, and then others are paid off. So the good news for us is there's only 1 Viking. So he goes into the Deadpool. This guy, if there's tension, we roll number of more counters to flip the peace. remove Moors from northernmost box. And so I think we just remove a Moor. We don't have tension. That's the first thing. But let me make sure. Maybe the Moor... I'll look up the Moor. Okay, so the rules are a little different. It doesn't say if peace. See, here it says if tension, roll. Remove Moors from northernmost box. This says you roll and then you eliminate. If the die roll exceeds the number, then you eliminate. So here's what I'm wondering. Was I supposed to switch it to tension when I drew a Moor? And so that might be something that was missing from the action sheet. Here we go, the Moors. There it is. When one of the Moor markers is drawn, it's flipped to tension side. So we were supposed to be on tension. Okay, that's not in the cheat sheet. So right here, when you draw the Moor, it doesn't say anywhere in there that you flip it to tension. I'm just looking. Oh, hey, there's the intrigue thing. I didn't think it was on here. I just found it. Okay, so we have to roll. We just have to get greater than a 1. We got a 4, which is awesome. So the Moor is destroyed. Okay, so now we move to the Byzantine. We do have tension. The Moor, by the way, gets converted back to peace. We do have tension with the Byzantine. If we get greater than the turn number, we flip the piece and move Byzantium markers from dead pool to friendly cup. Okay, so all right, so we just need to be greater than turn 2. So we got an 8, which was good. So the Byzantium marker, which is this one, goes back into the friendly cup. Okay, and then the Vatican thing, we can't do anything with the Vatican check because our PAM is not +2 yet. So we can't become the Holy Roman Emperor, and we can't. Our VPs don't meet the threshold either. We're at 5, we need 8. Unfortunately, we're not quite there. So it's not going to work. So that's a very frustrating goal, by the way, to try to have enough victory points to meet that. Okay, so now we move on to the turn end phase. And so I'm just looking at the sheet here. And the first thing we do is we have to eliminate all +1 leaders unless we're the HRE. Then we can eliminate +2. Unfortunately, they're all +2s out here, so we can't do anything about those. Next thing we do is if we have a finished church and there's no Vikings and no Moors, we can eliminate the topmost unit unless it's in a pagan region with a leader. So you have to have a finished church and no Vikings, no Moors. Well, the only church we have is in Italy, so that doesn't help us. Otherwise, eliminate the topmost unit in a stack of 3 or more, unless it's in a pagan region with a leader. So this is where this hurts. We drew this at the very last of the game, but we have a stack of 3 or more, and we get to get rid of this one and this one. So 2 of them eliminated there. See, these 2 have leaders, but we can get rid of this one. And they're all going in the dead pool. Here's one with 3 or more. And that's it. And, okay, and it says additionally, eliminate 1 unit in any boxes occupied by Charlemagne or Marquis. So the good news is, I got to remember that, by the way, that just by having the Marquis there, we get to get rid of somebody. So that's awesome. Okay, now we got to resolve the dead pool. All the Vikings go into Hostile Cup. So Hostile Cup is there. We have 1 Viking unit, and it's going into the Hostile Cup. Done. The Moors have peace, so they go into the Unfriendly Cup. So this Moor will go into Unfriendly. Byzantium is no longer there, because we took care of that. The Intrigue stays. The Turn Ends go into the Hostile Cup, of course. The Finished Church and No Enemies. So that would be the Italy ones. So we finished the church now, and there's no enemies there. So these Italy ones now go in the Friendly Cup. So they're flying the friendly skies. Finally. If it's a if it's enemies and no Frankish presence. That would be the Spanish. There's no Franks there, so we're going to put them in the Hostile Cup. I'm looking. Obviously, the pagans are going into the Hostile Cup, so I'm going to grab all the pagans, throw them in the Hostile Cup. The blue region, which we had one of, he's going into the Friendly Cup. And then the otherwise, which is this big stack of Britons, they're going into the Unfriendly Cup. So done. All right, so we did that, and now we have to collect our money. So we get $10. So 2 and 10 is 12. But now we have to pay money. And for every marquee, we pay 1. For every church, we pay 1. And every level 3 scara. So we have 1 level 3 scara, 1 church, and 2 marquees. That's $3. 1, 2, 3. And then for every box occupied by a Moor, every Viking, an enemy leader. So we have 3 enemy leaders on the map, so we lose 3 more. That hurts. Otherwise, we had some decent money. And that's it. Okay, so now, so I think the key here is I need to get churches up. Because here's the deal. That first church gave me +1 taxes, but it cost me +1 in maintenance. So it doesn't help me. But if you look here, the second church gives me +2 in taxes, but still only cost me +1 in maintenance. And so as you start getting those churches up, you can see that the money you're getting from the churches is exponentially growing. Now the marquees, they cost me 6 to place, which is the same cost as a church, by the way. They give me +2 taxes. And then if you pay for a bridge and road, you get +1 more. So you're getting $3 for every marquee. That might actually be still a good investment. It just seems rough. The Byzantines are no longer in tension. Okay, now we do victory points. And so you get victory points for building roads, which is also good. Okay, for every level 4 battle unit, which of course we're going to remove, we have 1. We're going to get 1 point for that. So that puts us up to 6. Any enemy-free region, we actually have 1, 2, 3. We do get to count the blue region. That counts. I don't know if I counted that last time, but it counts. 1, 2, 3. Next one is the intrigue marker. Lets us score. So we actually have 10 now. And then the Crown of Lombardy. We got the Super Bowl trophy. So we get one more. And then for every marquee, we get a point. So that's 2 more. And then the church gives us 1 more. And then per 5 coins in the treasury, we actually get 1 more for that. Now, somewhere in here was the step where England, we skipped England over here. Our taxation meets the wealth threshold. The wealth threshold was 9. Our taxation was 10. So we get another EVP. Okay, so we have currently 15 victory points, and you can see for the next turn, we only need 13. So we finally have enough victory points to exceed our threshold, so we're going to finally get that +1 modifier for the Holy Roman Empire. So that part's working out. The problem is now we have to do our military check, which is not written on here. But the military threshold was 20, and you can see here we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We fell short by 2. So we're going to lose 2 victory points, which amazingly enough is still enough to meet the threshold. So we got super lucky there. But that's what happened when our military fell short. So we got to minimize our battles here. And it's funny because I had to get rid of those cavalry, but I didn't mean to get rid of that many. So that brings us to turn 3. This is a lengthy game, folks. Largely because this hostile cup is full of a lot of chips. And so getting those 2 is in a tall order. As you can see, when we get to turn 4, that turn end cup will get added in. So there'll be 3 of them in there, and you only have to draw 2. And then, of course, by turn 8, there's going to be 4 of them in there. So that'll accelerate it a little bit. Once I started losing my troops, I felt like my options got greatly limited. Like the pagans, I can't do anything about. I can go in there and kill them all, in fact, but I have to take huge victory point losses to do it, and I don't see value in that at this point. So there we are at the end of turn 2, and we're going to get ready to start turn 3. So thanks for watching. Stay awesome. I do have to take a break, and it is getting late, so I may not finish this game tonight. But it's a neat little game, and my mind is churning on what should I do and how should I do it, and do I build churches first? Do I build marquees first? What was the right strategy? And of course, there's tons of luck in this game, so you gotta just get your beer and pretzels and just accept that. But there's some really good strategy coupled with luck, and that's what I like about it. And like I said, this reminds me a lot of the State of Siege games from Victory Point Games. It has a lot of similar feel, but I do think it's pretty neat how these 3 cups are working. That's a neat little interchange. There's definitely stuff going on when you're moving stuff from cups. And I'll just share with you, they said that this middle cup is never empty. It's never happened, ever, but they put a rule in just in case it was. And I wanted to, desperately. I was like even looking for which actions can I do to empty this middle cup. So I was going to sabotage the entire game just so I can empty that middle cup. But unfortunately, there's not a lot that do that. I mean, I can make a marquee which empties the cup, but it cost me 6 gold, so I'm very limited in how often I can do that. And then, of course, the siege would work. And you know what? We haven't tried the siege. That's actually an option. So when you're short on troops, you can do some sieges, and we might see that next turn. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay awesome.